Hi, my name's Imogen. I am the men's coach and founder of Change Channel Coaching. And I'm honored because every single day I get to work with men from all walks of life, really. Men who feel like they have something more to offer this world, but the little voice on their shoulder keeps them playing small. Or men who are struggling with overthinking, feeling burnt out, feeling let down, and like trust has been broken, and they really don't know where to start to rebuild. The recording you're about to watch is a session that I did with Ryan Thomas. Now, Ryan volunteered for this and I have his consent on video as well. However, I've chopped this down so that we can really get into the nitty gritty of it. So, what Ryan's struggling with is feeling like he's failed, feeling like he's dumb, feeling like he's made wrong choices or ill-informed choices in business decisions, and he's currently looking to build his business back up. So I've chopped out some of the boring, so let's jump in. Let's do this. Okay, so what I would like to understand from you first is what seems to be the problems that are presenting for you majorly at the moment. Like what's the most pressing issue that you're facing or trying to navigate or getting in the way?
Um, so yeah, obviously my situation is I've just left a business that I helped start, and it feels a lot like a breakup. So I guess I'm in that grieving period.
Mhm.
But the real issue for me is that I need to get out there and make money and do what I need to do. Hanging on to that sort of bitterness is really stopping me from connecting with people. And I don't even know if maybe it's a bit of fear of like getting stung again or something like that. I'm not really sure, but I'm just I'm just feeling kind of grumpy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And would you think that that's like a little bit despondent to the world around you as well? As in, like, do you feel like you've been let down, or do you feel like trust has been broken? And do you feel like resistant or hesitant to go near other people because anyone might do that to you again?
It's more like I feel like I've failed,
Mm.
and if I connect with other people, what if I fail them?
Do you think that you're scared of other people seeing your failure?
Yeah, actually, that's definitely true. Yeah, I don't want them to think that I'm dumb.
That's pretty deep
Yeah.
because you're actually really intelligent, right? We know that.
Yeah.
So why do you think that they would think that you're dumb?
uh, I guess it's like I had a car accident when I was younger and had brain damage from that. And I remember being in the hospital doing these like assessments to see how much brain damage you have. And I couldn't read the time on an analog clock. And every day they would be like, no, that's wrong. And it made me feel dumb, and it made me feel judged. And just repeating it every day, yeah, I don't know. I feel like that comes back when I'm in those situations because I'm like, oh, you're going to be judging me and viewing me like I'm dumb or there's something wrong with me.
And so, what is it that you feel right now about the decisions that you made that got you to the point that you're at right now?
I feel like they were probably the decisions of someone not intelligent, and I'm judging myself that way.
So, are you worried that you made a dumb decision?
Absolutely.
Do you,
Absolutely.
if you look back now, do you think it was a dumb decision?
I think there were elements of stupidity where I could have been more diligent. Um, but I'm trying to be kind to myself and say, well, that's a lesson. But it's hard because there is judgment there. Yeah.
So you're just beating yourself up on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's the way to put it. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty normal, right? It's like something that most of us do when we make decisions and then we feel like we've done something wrong or we don't belong or we don't, like I don't understand, like it's like it is a learning at that point in time. It is something that you've understood. Like there's no right or wrong to a decision ultimately.
Mm.
Like we've been taught that there's, like it's a right decision or it's a wrong decision, but ultimately there isn't a right and a wrong. There's only the learning that you get from it at whatever point that comes to fruition. It's it's our perception of self-deprecation that tells us whether it was right or wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. And like when you look back at it, it's it's done and you can form an opinion, but beforehand you're kind of acting on what you know.
So from the decision that you made and the decisions that you can look at now that like you maybe didn't have the information and the knowledge about then, what would you do differently moving forward?
Probably get advice for the things I don't know.
From who?
Probably a business advisor or an accountant or something like that, I think.
And how would that help the version of yourself that still feels dumb in a hospital?
It won't.
So you're still trapped in that, right?
It comes up. Yeah.
And it's playing out now. So what would you need? Like if you were still in that hospital room and you were still recovering from that and still figuring out what capacity you have and what damage there was, what would you have needed then to make you feel like you weren't dumb or to make you feel like you weren't making the wrong decisions or to make you feel like you weren't being judged by people in a way that was critical?
Compassion.
What does that mean?
Like when I think about that memory, like the doctor didn't show any empathy or compassion. It was just, nope, that's wrong. But like if I was there talking to myself, it would have been like, it's just where you are right now. Like it's not fixed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I mean by compassion, like self compassion. I'm creating the problems in my own mind and beating myself up. The voice of kindness isn't there.
Do you think that you go into victimhood in that state?
I, I don't know. I feel like I don't have any control.
Over what?
Outcomes.
Do you ever have any control over outcomes?
Well, I mean, I like to think so.
Mm-hmm. So what
Yeah.
what would control stop you from having?
I've been thinking about this over the last few days because I knew this meeting was coming up. I really value independence. And to me, I think the independence is linked to the intelligence. And it's like, if if I'm dumb, I can't be independent. I would have to rely on other people.
Say more about that.
I think I've said enough. I I don't know. I guess even just saying that I out loud, I guess there is a fear of trusting people,
Which is the fear of what, actually?
abandonment.
And
I don't know.
If everything outside of you is a reflection of what you feel inside of you, then a fear of trusting others is a fear of
uh, all I can think of is it's like you're relying on people. Like I'm not sure. I'm really stuck on that. Like, yeah,
who do you not trust to make the right decisions?
people that just don't have the knowledge of the situation to be able to make a decision.
And you feel dumb in the situation, right?
In this one, yes,
So who do you feel that you don't trust to have the knowledge to make the right decisions?
me.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's hmm.
Everything outside of you is a reflection of what you feel inside of you.
So I would trust people more if I trusted myself more. It
Because
kind of
you,
makes sense because it's like it's my decision to trust someone. So that's the first point where I have to have like trust.
well, at the end of the day, all we have is love and fear. So trust is a manifestation of fear, right? Because that's the like, I can trust you or I can't trust you. But if all there is love, and I'm not talking about, like pretty, beautiful, soft, blah, blah, blah. Like if it's genuine, if you genuinely believe in yourself, if you genuinely have faith in yourself, if you genuinely believe you can do the thing, then that's love. Right? That's like I'm going for it. I'm taking the risks. I'm being courageous. I'm building the thing. Even if it collapses, even if it doesn't work, I'll still get the learnings. I'm going for it because I have faith and belief in myself that everything's going to work exactly as it needs to. That's love.
Mm,
Fear is, I don't know whether I can trust these people or not. I don't know whether these are the right decisions or not. I'm not sure if it's going to work out, and so I don't know whether it's worth going. That's fear. Trust in yourself is belief and faith. Knowing that if you're comfortable in yourself, if you're aware of yourself, if you're sure of who you are and what you're doing and what you're made up of and how your mind works and all of those things, then you'll attract the people and the lessons to you that you need to have. Bottom line. That's like then the trust becomes, what does this person bring in for me? Not what are they taking from me, or what have I lost because of them, or like what am I set to lose, or like that's this conversation around people are bad
mm.
and people are going to upset your life, right? Like at the moment, how much blame do you have for the business and the position that you're in?
I blame myself, really. I t- I'm I've learned that you have to take responsibility, and obviously this situation is my doing. I can't put it on someone else. Um, like I said at the start, that I've been stuck in that bitterness, and what you're kind of bringing out now is that the bitterness is about myself, not anyone else. Yeah, and I've even been hesitating on certain decisions and things like that, which is obviously what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Because if you thought about it, like blame equals shame.
Yeah.
Shame's a choice. Guilt's a choice, right? They are feelings that we get to choose to take with us or not. Doesn't mean that it's an easy choice, and it doesn't mean that it's something that we consciously make. But you can choose to either rid yourself with shame and guilt and self-deprecation and make yourself feel bad for poor decisions or the wrong decisions or not having enough information or being dumb or ill-informed or whatever you want, right? You can beat yourself with all of that, but that will hold you in a victim state, in a victim narrative. Because while we're sitting in this is the problem, we're not looking for the opportunities of growth.
Yeah.
You can't have a problem and an opportunity at the same time. The brain will either look for the negative, which is the problem, or it will look for the positive, which is the opportunity. And the only difference in those two things is your choice. So if you hold yourself in a state of bitterness and that like self-deprecation, really, which is what it is, then you hold yourself in, I can't make good decisions. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm dumb. Everyone's going to judge me. I feel shame.
Mm.
And then you're going to filter all of your other decisions through that guise, through that lens. So now your other decisions that you're pausing on or halting on or not being able to make is because you're looking at those decisions through this lens of shame, bitterness, feeling ignorant and dumb, and like you don't know what you're doing. Do you believe that you don't know what you're doing?
No, I believe that I'm very good at what I do. There's a
So,
lot of evidence to support that as well. So
yep. The
that's,
other question I would have for you is, and I think because I know a little bit about you, are you neurodivergent?
yeah,
Is that autism?
yeah.
How much compassion do you have on a regular basis?
Well, I've only really found that out recently, so it's kind of a new thing. And I think it actually makes me have more compassion at times for myself, knowing that, but particularly with socializing. But yeah,
It's a, from what I understand about a lot of autistic traits, again, same for you. Like I've only found out this year that I'm neurodivergent and have two. Um, but one of the things about autism is that often it is more task focused and more, focused on the process and the results and the facts and less about the feelings.
yeah,
But what you're saying is I need to have more compassion and focus more on the feelings, but inherently that might not be your traits and your
it's
skills.
not natural. Yeah.
So then if you look at yourself in the hospital when you were young and you had the accident,
Mm.
what compassion would you have given yourself that's realistic for you?
Well, I think knowing what I'm like, I've read a lot of literature about, symptoms that happen after brain injury and, recovery times and, regrowing neurological pathways and things like that. So it might sound silly, but I think leaning on the science and the logic is more compassionate in my view.
We have to understand how you function, right? Because if you're neurodivergent in a neurotypical world, then one, you're not normal.
Hmm.
So it doesn't fit, it doesn't look like everyone else's should. And so if you don't know about that as well, you're constantly trying to make yourself more normal in a place that isn't. But
Mm.
even now, you've said, I would be more compassionate and more understanding. But if you think about your young self, hearing those words, understanding that you're logical, practical, and that you focus on the, like the actual information and the tangible things, hearing that information come in does hurt your feelings, because it sets in the brain also that this is fact because someone, a doctor, has said so. And the doctor didn't say it with care and compassion and gentleness. He just said it factually. So maybe the doctor was also autistic.
Mm. Yeah.
But somewhere in your brain, you've wired that in.
Yeah.
So we need to be able to sit in what works for you because if it's not, like squishy, nice feeling things, what do we need to do for you actually to show compassion that isn't what, like compassion, like neurotypical people would want to receive? Like, what do you actually want that would be compassionate to help you build yourself back up?
Yeah, I would want logic. I would want tangible things that I could use to benchmark myself against and know that I'm doing better.
So, what would you take out of your situation that you've just been through and the business and the reputation that you've built for the last 15 years? What would you take
I
out of
already feel I already feel better because I'm doing it in my head right now. Yeah, I have a lot of data around things like this, and it doesn't make me look dumb.
because are you dumb?
No,
Are any of the decisions that you've made dumb?
just ill-informed.
Does that make them dumb though?
No, like I would do it differently next time, and that's the lesson, right? So,
Fuck yeah, it is.
yeah.
Yeah. Like all you need from we're energetic beings, right? We function on an energy level and we're constantly growing that. We're evolving, we're learning, we're expanding our knowledge.
Mm,
You know more now from the ill-informed decisions that you made last time than you did when you made them.
yeah,
You have gathered an extraordinary amount of information, I would assume, in the way that your brain works, right? You have mapped out every single decision, where you needed support, where you needed information, where you needed to learn more, where you could have brought someone in, any of those things, right? You've mapped that, I'm sure you have.
yeah, many times.
Right? So, was it a dumb decision or was it an exceptional information gathering exercise that meant you had to go through some hardship, but now you're going to be forced to create something of your own and you've got a battle plan, I would assume, so that all of those things don't happen again.
Yeah, and I'm already moving in the right direction. It's like I said, I know what to do and I know how to do it. It's just been carrying this baggage that's making it harder to get there.
So,
So
do you,
yeah,
if you look back at your experience right now from this position, was it exceptionally valuable to what you're building right now?
to be honest, the lessons have been really, really valuable. Yeah, like yeah, probably something you wouldn't want to give back.
So, was it dumb?
No, no, it just hurt.
Great. Great. And you can deal with pain, right?
Oh yeah,
We can deal with a bruised ego.
yeah,
We can deal with falling down and scraping our knees and then figuring out a way to stand back up and keep walking forward so that we don't trip over again.
yeah.
Because the reality of the situation is you'll make more ill-informed decisions in the future that you will learn from.
Don't say that. No. It's true. It's true. And I mean, when you're a kid, you don't know anything, so you're constantly making mistakes and figuring it out. I guess it's like when you get older, like I'm in my 30s, it's probably more of an ego thing than anything because you have developed that higher level functioning and you can really judge yourself with experience as well. So it kind of can be a bit more devastating, the voice in the head.
And what that actually is arrogance.
Say more.
So confidence is I'm comfortable, I know who I am, I know how I function, I understand my triggers, I understand my reactions, I understand what situations I want to be in, the people I want to be around, the conversations I want to be having. I understand myself and I'm comfortable with that. So people can criticize me and I'm not going to react because I know who I am.
It's like the sensitivity threshold is so much higher because things kind of wash off you because you have a foundation of belief and everything in yourself. Yeah.
But so many men say, I want to be confident. Confidence is an outcome of how much work you put into yourself to understand who you are and what your limitations are, and how to start pushing them so that you can exceed those, which is your growth. That's risk,
Mm.
right? That's how much fear you can confront and step to, because fear is your body's signaling system to tell you that there's growth in that.
Yeah.
Arrogance is, I think I know everything. I think I'm there. I think I'm healed. I think I have more information than this. I'm better than that, blah, blah, right? Arrogance is a defensive mechanism so that people don't get close to you so that they can't see where the gaps are and so that you don't have to look at them.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is you saying, I'm in my 30s and I should be better than that, right? And I'm judging myself against it.
Mm.
You're only in your 30s. You've got so much more life ahead of you, which means you've got minimum, right? Like minimum probably 40 years worth of growth to get through.
Mm.
That's an exceptional amount of knowledge and information that you could ascertain in that time. So the perception that you've got so much information already to be able to not slip up or not make bad decisions or poor decisions or whatever the fuck that looks like is arrogant.
So you think like, say I'm in my 70s, I'm probably going to look back and think the same then as what I'm doing now. But then if, say, there was some sort of technological breakthrough and we lived to 150 or something, and I got to 120, I'd probably look back on that 70-year-old and be like, oh, he thought he knew stuff.
Yeah. Because the I've made it, the I'm healed, the I'm enlightened, or I've ascended, or whatever the fuck that nonsense is dead. Unless you're a Buddhist monk sitting in a temple, committed your whole life to doing that, which is not our society and not our culture and not the way that our brains are wired, the I've made it is dead. Like I've conquered the mountain of my life, the dead. Otherwise, you are, and you need to be, looking for the next mountain to climb,
Mm.
right? So many people go, like, I've made it to the top of the mountain, I've put my flag in, there we go, I'm done, I've made it, I've created the business, I've done all the things. But if we're not hungry for growth, then we sit on top of that mountain and we stagnate. And that's where we self-sabotage, because our subconscious and unconscious mind will get very bored of that place very quickly and look for learning. So if you're not actively looking for learning, your soul is looking for learning. That's why it's here. So if you make it to the top of the mountain and you put your flag in and say, I've made it, it won't take very long before self-sabotage comes in.
Mm.
But if you get to the top of the mountain and you go, okay, all right, that motherfucker looks really big, let's go. Which to me now looks like life is a mission and that hill climb is consistent. We are just constantly looking for ways to level up, to grow, to expand, to
Yeah.
expand our comprehension of what life can be.
It reminds me of like when I was really overweight after the car accident, depression and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, I started going to the gym to lose that weight. And I just remember doing the workouts and I was like, why is this so hard? Like, does it ever get easier? And after I'd lost, about 40 kilos or something like that. I was there and it was hard still, but I was enjoying it. The way I was looking at it changed. And I was like, I hope this doesn't get easier. And I guess that's like a perfect example of what you're saying, is that you got to kind of learn to love the struggle a little bit because it makes you stronger. Like at the gym, you don't want to go there and lift really light weights because what's the point?
But the thing is that the thing that will change is your capacity,
Yeah, like at the gym.
like at the gym. So initially, 100 kilo weight to deadlift would be really hard. And that would be something that you would have to work towards. But then after a long period of time, the 100 kilo becomes your warm up.
Yeah.
It's the same with your mind. If we're not exercising our mind, if we're not exercising our understanding of how we function, you are your only limitation. The only
Mhm.
thing that will ever get in your way is you. You are the only limitation that you have, and you are the single greatest opportunity in front of you. The only thing you need to work out is how to conquer yourself, because everything else will flow from that, which is the trust thing, right? It's like if you believe in yourself, if you work on yourself, if you understand yourself better than anything else in this world, trust goes out the window. It's not even a factor, because you know that everything that you're doing will pull in the experiences that you need to have to level up your growth. And those experiences won't always be good. I think that the more work you do, the broader the range of emotions that you feel, the deeper the pain, the higher the happiness, but the
Mm.
faster that you transverse those highs and those lows. So something that comes in that makes you feel dumb and makes you feel shamed and makes you feel bitter and all of those things that lasts for weeks, the more you work on yourself in the future, that might only hit you for a day. And you get what you need from it and you go, right, that was a fucking painful lesson. All right, let's go again. I'm ready. Right? It's the ability to recover,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is the same with conditioning in the gym,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. It's the perfect kind of analogy for it because yeah, well, I'm really thinking back to those training sessions where I was still, like 130 kilos and it's like everything was hard. But then, I got stronger and better at it and my lung capacity increased and yeah, the workouts I was able to make them harder and my tolerance in the sessions increased. So it's like you're saying you build up that emotional tolerance and it's like you're better equipped when you face the situations. And even back to that thing of trust, when I started lifting weights, I hadn't done it, so I didn't know whether I could lift it. So there was a lot of hesitation. I go in there now, I'm not hesitating at all. I don't think about it. There is like unbelievable trust that I'm going to be able to lift it.
You just have belief in yourself
Yeah.
because you've formulated by doing the literal reps belief in your body and in its capacity and its capability to understand what it can withstand and what it can do to grow, what you can do to push those boundaries, how much extra weight you can put on and apply before you're going to get to a point where you can't or you might hurt yourself, right? Like, so you just
Yeah.
understand what it is that you're capable of.
And there's a lot of in like it's very intuitive as well now when I'm at the gym. Like I just know whether I should be putting a little bit more weight on or we'll leave it at that because it's enough for today. Whereas like, yeah, when I was first starting, it was like you just go until you got hurt.
So, right now, intuitively, what are the decisions that you need to make and the steps that you need to put into place right now to pursue the new business that you're building?
Well, despite having this issue with trust, I have actually leaned on people that I've known, and it wasn't really, it didn't start off as that way, but they kind of reached out to me because they knew I was having a difficult time. And then they just offered support. And I was like, if you're offering support, I'm going to take it. This is what I'm trying to do. Can you help with that? And everyone's loved the idea. And it's not because I'm it's not because I'm taking anything either, or they're like giving me charity. They're getting something out of it. It's a big collaborative effort, and that's making me feel good because it's not backed by self-interest. It's more like, hey, we're all going to win from this.
What would be the problem if it was backed from self-interest?
Well, when I say it's not backed by, like, there's definitely self-interest, I think, because everyone has that. But it's not the biggest factor, is more what I mean.
So if the bitterness and the shame and the feeling dumb are getting in the way at the moment, what are they getting in the way of if you're already making these moves? And when I ask you this question, you're like, oh, I've already done this. So what are those things getting in the way of? What is it holding you back from?
So, like I said, logically, I know exactly what needs to happen from like a marketing point of view, development. I just know what has to happen. And I've already done the market research and I know that there's demand for this thing. And it's like, I know that, but the alignment of the emotions isn't with that, if that makes sense. It's like I'm out of step with myself on an
And
emotional level.
and now, do you still feel like that now?
With the perspective shift from what we've talked about, I'm not viewing myself as dumb like I was at the start of this. I'm now viewing it more like a young person facing something they've never faced. And if you don't know, you don't know, and then you learn, and then you know. So I feel like that the logic point of view that you brought up has made it easier to accept that. Whereas I was very much sitting in an emotional place of like shame about it. Um, yeah, I don't know. And then the other part of it is, like I said, where it feels like a breakup, there's always a grieving period, where you kind of feel a bit sad. So there's that too. And it's just the emotions aren't aligning with the actions.
Hmm. And grief comes in different ways as well, right? It comes through rage and anger and bitterness and feeling tired or feeling exhausted as well, right? There's many different forms of grief, and we all go through the process of that. So I'm probably pretty sure that during this process for you with the breakup from the business that you've gone through anger
Oh, yeah.
and the
Yeah.
rage and all of those things. And so there's not it is and like I said before, like it's the more you understand about yourself, the more you understand about how emotionally and cognitively you function and how those two things go together, the faster you can traverse
Mm.
the depths of those emotions, which means that you come back sooner and faster.
Yeah. And what I'm feeling from this is like that reframe that you gave me with the logic angle, that's really helped click for me. Whereas I'm not saying like people shouldn't, think of things emotionally, but like you're saying, it's not a natural way for me to process things. I've been trying to process it emotionally, and I've been stuck in it
Yeah. Yeah.
until that reframe, which is now kind of like clicked, and it's like, oh, yeah, actually, that makes sense.
Yeah, capitalize on, like, this is again why you have to understand yourself better than anyone else. Because if you don't understand, like if you understand that you are neurodivergent and you are autistic and whatever that looks like for you on whatever the spectrum is that they have now, then you're trying to measure yourself against, I'm trying to feel these things that people tell me I should be feeling and that I should be able to reconcile in my body, but they're not making sense, over your actual way of processing,
Mm,
which is, like at war with yourself in some way because it doesn't make sense.
yeah, and it results in feeling stuck. That's the best way I could say it, because it's like the logic engine is just ready to move forward. It's not thinking about the shame of any of it, but that emotional state is like it hasn't clicked until we just started talking about it. I was like, then the blame disappeared because it became like a factual thing. I don't know if that sounds weird, but
No,
It just clicked for me. So
it makes perfect sense, right? Because this is what neurodivergence is. It's a superpower. It means that you can move faster than normal people, right? Because lots of people get stuck in the emotions and they have to process them and they have to do all the things and they have to make it blah and you can bypass a whole bunch of that shit because you can make it make logical sense in your brain and you don't need to feel all of that. That's not to say don't feel your feelings. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is your brain is equipped with the process to be able to logically understand where the feelings come from, why they're there, what they mean, and what you learn, and how to put all of that into place and fucking move on.
mm, I
Like
like it.
it's, but we feel bad and dumb. I understand the dumb feeling, right? Because society tells us that we should function some other way. And there's a part of us that wants to go slow so that we can be normal, so that we can do things the way that society tells us we're meant to.
Mm,
But you have superpowers, right? Your brain is wired differently, and that's awesome. It means that you will go faster than everyone else. And then there's a whole part of us that wants to fit in, right? And we want to be accepted and we want to feel normal. So we try and slow ourselves down to fit into the normal society reality so that we're not lonely or isolated.
yeah.
Figure out yourself. Understand yourself better than everyone else so that you can go faster than everyone else and you're not worried about fitting in because they will not keep up 90% of the time. You will outgrow the people around you faster than most people, and it will feel cold because you will feel like you don't have empathy and like you're not feeling things. But you're invested in your evolution and your growth, and you're limiting yourself and restricting yourself based on other people.
Mm,
You'll outsmart nearly everyone around you most of the time, probably. And that'll make them feel uncomfortable. Your
mm,
challenge will be to understand arrogance and confidence, right? Your challenge will be to understand who you are and how you function so that you don't do that in in pursuit of arrogance, in pursuit of dominance of other people, right? That will be a very fine line for you because the smarter you get, the bigger you build, the faster you go, the more you will feel superior. And your challenge will be to anchor that into your understanding of yourself so that you can remain confident, clear, calm, and focused. Because otherwise, the danger is, or the fine line is, that you will go into a place where you want to dominate and you want to show how superior you are to everyone else.
well, I feel like that perception is held by other people, like you said, where they feel intimidated because
That's not your responsibility.
no, like just back to that feeling in hospital. That's a humbling thing. And there were other things like broken pelvis. I needed help to go to the toilet.
Mhm.
That's super humbling when the basic human functions and you need someone else to help you do that. That's humbling.
For sure.
There's never any part of me that wants anyone to feel like that, which is like something that drives me to lift other people up because that's a horrible feeling. No one should be there.
Yeah. Which is why I'm saying it'll be the thing that you need to work on for yourself so that you keep the humility.
Mm,
Bec- because what I'm saying is the danger becomes that you grow so fast and you become, more intelligent than everyone around you, and that goes to your head basically.
yeah.
That's the risk. So what we need to do for that is to learn more about you, learn more about how you function, learn more about what, like how your emotions work and how your neurodivergence works and how you can, function and support that function and that growth so that you understand yourself deeply on every level that's the humility aspect, right? That's where that comes in, because if you understand yourself, you stay grounded.
Yeah.
But if you grow out of control and you don't stay grounded, you don't have the foundation, then we risk being put into situations that need to humble us.
Yeah.
And that's devastating.
Yeah.
I love where this is going for you.
This has been awesome, to be honest. Like, yeah, really eye-opening. It's I consider myself pretty reflective, like self-reflective, but everyone has blind spots, and you do need you can't be in a vacuum. You've got to get out and connect with people and interact and get feedback.
Well, we're humans, right? We are looking for connection, all of us. And so if we are running that through a fear program, then what we're doing is attracting the thing that we fear the most. So if you're scared of untrustworthy relationships, then you'll bring in as many untrustworthy relationships as you need to be able to learn the lessons,
Mm.
which is why I say what it relies on is your level of faith and belief in yourself, because then you're focused on that. You're not focused on the fear. And if you know that every situation comes into your life, like we've just looked at, right? Like we've gone from like I made dumb decisions and it's going to look dumb to actually I've learned so much from that and I'm going to create something entirely different based on what I've learned from that situation. Now
Mm.
it's valuable.
Yeah.
It's not dumb and we don't want to take it back because then we wouldn't have that knowledge and we need it, obviously.
Yeah.
And obviously, for me, from where I sit, obviously, you needed that information so that you could build what you're building now, because somewhere in the future, you're going to have an experience and you're going to go, fuck, I'm glad that I had that in place because it'll be far bigger than what you've just experienced.
Yeah.
But you'll have systems in place that stop that from happening because of what you learned.
Yeah.
Right? But we're generally focused on it's a problem. I feel bad about it. It's all about me. It means things about me. It doesn't. It's not personal. None of it's personal. It's just a fucking experience so that you can learn some information so that you can do something differently in the future. And we're all stuck on this, like, oh, it hurts. Personal. This is all about me. It's not. It's not
Yeah.
about, it's about your growth. It's always about your growth. It's always about who you're becoming. Cool. What do you think your biggest takeaway is?
I I thought that I was being kind to myself. I really thought that I was, but I'm really seeing that I wasn't.
And so, how would you change that?
Well, give myself what I actually need, which is the logic behind things, because that helps me understand, and then I don't get stuck in it.
Mhm. So, next time it happens, give yourself a moment to feel like you've been put on your ass and have the feelings, and then harvest the information and the learnings and brush your knees up, off, and get the fuck on with it. Because you have the ability to do that. So, feel the things, get the information, move. Neurodivergent people don't like wallowing because we weren't built for it.
I mean, it's a very different approach to what I've ever been told before. It actually feels right.
If Ryan's story hit home for you and you feel like you could benefit from this level of support, then please reach out. Change Channel offers on-demand courses with a free community and live chat support, live group coaching programs with 7-day support for accountability, with 7-day support so you can get the real accountability in there. And for the guys who are ready to level up their game, I offer an invite-only one-to-one program with exclusive access and support so that you know exactly what steps to take to create the life that you really want.